This is the last tip for you. This one is probably one of the biggest ones that I feel has helped me improve my balloon styling.
We getting crazy in a different role. We getting crazy in a different role.
Welcome to today's video where we're going to kind of be going over some mistakes I made / some things I wish I knew when I first started doing balloons. Okay, first up is having to do with our electric blower, and the main thing is these nozzles right here. I wish I would have known to just use these nozzles always for all size balloons, not just your little 5-inch balloons. These really just help push the air more into like the base of the balloon and less into the neck of the balloon, which causes your balloon to look a little bit more oval. So these I just keep on all the time. Also, I will say these are just from Amazon. I would have, a backup of this just because these can overheat once you're blowing up a ton of balloons. So having two is really nice. Also, if you want to invest, there are some more like industrial size electric balloon blowers. If you are doing really large projects, it would definitely be worth it. Okay, another thing I did a lot when I first started, I used way too many materials that I really didn't need to be using. I used to connect my base garland with tie line. That was a material that I don't use anymore. I also would use some rubber bands sometimes to connect different clusters, or the 5 inches sometimes. Also don't use those anymore. Honestly, we're just down to these two materials, the balloons and the 260s, and that's pretty much all I use now. Another great thing that I kind of figured out later down the line kind of goes back to the whole materials thing, but it more so refers to once you've inflated all your balloons, being able to reuse those. So these have actually been reused for multiple videos, multiple pieces of content. So after the original install with a client, I go ahead and I go back and I collect all the balloons. That way I can go ahead and practice different techniques and also make content for you guys. All right, and then this one kind of has to go into the detail of your balloons, and that has to do with the 5-inch balloons. So I used to make my clusters about this size, 4s, clusters of 3s, pretty small. And now I've kind of transitioned into making larger clusters, as you can see behind me. I think it just adds a little bit more definition, a little bit more excitement. I still think these can be used and can work in certain areas if you're doing smaller garlands, maybe like a 5-6 foot garland. These actually can still look really nice just because the larger ones can sometimes overwhelm those smaller garlands. Another thing that has been a huge help as I've grown in the balloon industry is I used to only put my balloons into dumbbells, as you see here, and then I would connect the dumbbells to my line and create the base garland that way. I still do this when inflating. I create the dumbbells, but then I take the dumbbells and I create my clusters of 6. Just helps when you're inflating, so you don't have a bunch of loose balloons floating around. It's really helpful when you're transporting to an installation, having them kind of already grouped together. And this also is the beginning way to create a mini garland, which if you watch our other videos is how we create most of our balloon installations. Okay, this is the last tip for you. This one is probably one of the biggest ones that I feel has helped me improve my balloon styling. That is, I used to create my base or skeleton garland ahead of time before I would get to the venue that I was setting up at. So I would basically have my long spine just like this, all connected, and I would get to the space and I would try and shape it onto the wall or whatever I was installing onto. Now, if you watch some of our videos, I much more prefer to have these mini garlands and just connect these individually and build on site. Well, I hope this is going to help some of you out there learn from my mistakes that I've made. If you have any of your own that you'd love to share, please go ahead and leave those down in the comment. We love learning from each other here. And now that you have all this information, feel free to go check out this video right here where I show you what I carry in my installation bag.